What's up, family? Man, I bless each and every one of you. May God continue to guide you, keep you, comfort you, aid you in your growth and development, as well as the healing stages of your life. Family, man, we have to grow up emotionally. This is going to be rough for some of you, and it is what it is. Sometimes your best is not good enough, and I know that goes against the norm, just do your best, Sometimes your best ain't good enough, though. And what I mean by that, I'm 55 years old. I have 7 kids. My youngest will be 21 this year. My oldest will be 35. I've lived long enough to understand that sometimes your best isn't good enough. And what do I mean by that is so often, so many of us, if not the great majority of us, if all of us, we lived up under so much chaos and BS, growing up, that it was normal for us. We didn't know any other way of living. Stay with me. And so many of us, we had kids early. My oldest was born when I was 20. You know what I mean? And I didn't know that I was messed up emotionally. I didn't know my childhood wasn't, quote unquote, healthy. I didn't know that I had been damaged emotionally and spiritually. I didn't understand the trauma that I was carrying, due to my father, me witnessing my father murder my mom at the age of 2, to being sexually molested at the age of 6 by Christian dudes. You know what I mean? I didn't understand the damage and the trauma that I was carrying when I started having kids. You got to understand this. So many of us don't understand the drama and the trauma that we've carrying still with us when we start having kids. And what happens is we never take the time to heal and to release all that negativity because we don't know any better at the time. And so we carry that and we tuck it away as best as we know how. And oftentimes in our early 20s and late teens, man, we're partying, we're drinking, we're doing all kind of crazy stuff. That's not really healthy, but we're doing it nonetheless because it's normal for us. And so now we're having kids. And now responsibility kicks in, and I don't have time to focus on me. I don't have the time to be worried about dealing with my trauma and all my emotional baggage. Why? Because I got kids to take care of. So, man, I got to have a full-time job to take care of my kids. And not only do I have to have a full-time job to take care of my kids, man, when I get off work, because I'm a single parent now, raising 2 kids. Man, now all my attention got to go to my kids. I didn't have the time to be worried and sitting there and focused and doing shadow work and healing my mama issues and my daddy issues and being sexually molested and my auntie issues and my uncle issues. I didn't have time to be focused on that stuff because I was so busy trying to take care of my kids. Working all day, then coming home and trying to deal with the kids. Trying to cook and clean and wash clothes and get them ready for the next day. And all I did was take a couple sips of some wine, a couple glasses of wine after I put the kids down to try to relax, try to unwind, and then take my ass to sleep and get up and do it all over again the next day. So there was no time to work on me. Stay with me. And so often, if the truth be told, man, we carry that trauma into our lives and that bleeds out on our kids. That's not our intention. Our intention is to be the best parent possible. Our intention is to be the parent that we never had, be the parent we wish we had. But because we have all this baggage and trauma and drama from our childhood that we've never taken the time to resolve, that bleeds out on our relationship with our kids. Not intentionally. We're giving them our best. But our best is damaged because we've never healed that person that had the kids. You know what I mean? We never healed that person. The childhood and the drama and the trauma. We've never learned how to let that go. And so now we're having babies and bringing babies into the world, and we're loving them with our damaged, broken selves. And we're doing the best that we could do, not even understanding how messed up we were. We're loving them the best way we know how, not even understanding how damaged and twisted and toxic so many times that love was. Sometimes your best isn't good enough. So many of us have gotten into relationships and we fell in love with people that meant the world to us. And this person, man, they were good people. But because we were damaged and twisted and messed up, we bled out on the people that we loved. That was not our intention when we went into the relationship. Our intention was, man, we were going to be married. We're going to be happy. We're going to get old together and blah, 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 blah. We had all these goals we were going to accomplish, and none of it came true. Why? Because I was triggered, or I was set off, or whatever the case may be. I was damaged nonetheless. And I didn't realize how damaged I was. I didn't realize how toxic I was. And it's not until after this relationship ends that, okay, man, I got to start looking at stuff. My heart's broken and I'm crushed, and I'm trying to understand why this ended. Why this played out the way it did. And if we started psychoanalyzing us or start looking at the big picture, it's like, hold on, wait a minute, man. I messed up. Okay, why did I mess up? Oh, I messed up because they were trying to tell me to do some stuff. And I looked at them like they were trying to be my daddy, and I don't fuck with my daddy because my daddy was never there, and whoop, and I got daddy issues and da-da-da-da, or I got mama issues, whatever the case may be. And I didn't like this person trying to help me. I thought they were trying to control me. I thought they were trying to manipulate me. I thought they were trying to take all my fun away. I thought they were trying to take away my identity and all. And now that I'm a little older, now that I'm a little more mature, I understand that I was the one that was messed up. I understand I was the one that was damaged. I understand I was the one that was the great cause or the reason why the relationship ended the way it did. Because I wasn't emotionally mature enough to understand that I had been damaged prior to getting into that relationship. And I never dealt with those issues. And because I never dealt with all my trauma and the crap that I endured as a kid, as a young teenager, now I'm in my 20s and 30s, and now that stuff is leaking out into this relationship to where now it just makes the relationship implode. And I bleed out all over the people that I love. I react in an unhealthy way. And I hurt the people that we love. And that relationship ends. And so many of us, if the truth be told, we jump into other relationships. And because we blame that person why the relationship ended. Because we haven't matured up enough. We haven't grown up enough yet. And so we jump into another relationship or more relationships. And they end the same way, are very similar. And now we have to look at this shit. Damn, what the fuck is going on? Why is all my relationships ending like do? Why do I keep choosing dudes that remind me of my daddy? Why do I keep choosing these type of women? Why do I keep jumping in relationships like this? Sometimes our best isn't good enough. And what happens in the process, and we don't talk about this enough, we're having kids. And our intention is to stay with this person. But the crap that we endured, the drama and the trauma, the pain that we endured, the pain, the trauma that that person endured. We're two unhealed people coming together. Because we love each other. Because our addictions have drawn us together. Our pain, our trauma, our low vibrations have drawn us together. And we call it love. Because we're vibing on the same frequency. And our pain and our past collides. And our poor kids, they now have to pay the price of a broken family. They now have to pay the price of seeing and hearing mama and daddy arguing and fighting. They now have to pay the price of hearing us disrespect each other. They now have to pay the price of why daddy don't live with us anymore, why mama don't live with us anymore. And we never understand the psychological damage and issues that causes our child. We don't think about how that really affects them emotionally. And how our kids take on the persona of being strong. As a coping mechanism. Because it's learned behavior that they seen and learned from their daddy, they learned from their mama. And so they're not dealing with their stuff in a healthy manner. They're suppressing their pain. They're suppressing their trauma. They're learning distractive things. Oh, I'm going to go put on my headphones, go in my room, and block out all the chaos. I'm going to block out all the noise from my mama, my daddy. So I'm going to listen to some music. I'm going to get on YouTube. I'm going to call my friends. I'm going to go to somebody's house. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to do all this stuff to distract me from what is really taking place. I'm not going to deal with this, and I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to hear this, and so I'm trying to block it all out. Sometimes our best isn't good enough. And we really don't like having these conversations because our intentions was pure. But we were damaged. Our motives are genuine and authentic. But we were damaged. And we didn't understand how damaged we were. We had no clue how twisted and toxic we really were. And so now, because I've been messed up, I hurt this person. This person hurts me. And now we split up. And we go on separate ways. And the reality is we're more hurt now than we were when we got in the relationship. That wasn't our intent. But because they were hurt and damaged and didn't know it, and I was hurt and damaged and didn't know it, we get together two broken, two crushed, two toxic people attracted to each other, love the vibe of each other. Because it's familiar energy. Their energy is familiar to me. Not understanding that they're just as damaged as me. And sometimes they're more damaged than we are. And so we go into this relationship because we're great friends. We go into this relationship because we understand each other, so we think. We go into this relationship because we have so much in common, never realizing how much we really have in common. And so now, these two damaged people come together. And because they've never healed, because they've never really understood how damaged they were, they hurt each other. And now they split up. And they're both more damaged than they were before they got into the relationship. Sometimes your best isn't good enough. It wasn't your intent to hurt this person. All you want to do was love them and grow old with them. All you want to do was, this was going to be the only baby daddy you had, the only baby mama you had. This was going to be your husband for life, and blah, 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 blah. It was going to be your wife for life and that, all that other stuff. But then reality starts to kick in. The trauma starts surfacing. And instead of us seeing it as our own issues, we see it as that person's changing. He sees it as you're changing. You see it as he's changing. And now there's odds. You guys are arguing and fighting over stupid stuff. But the reality is you can't see the pain from your past that's coming up and is making your present collide. Your past is about to make your present explode. And you don't see it. They don't see it. They just think it's each other. You think it's him and he think it's you. You think he's tripping and you think he's tripping. Not even understanding that you're both tripping. Not even understanding that you're both toxic. Not even understanding that you're both traumatized. Not even understanding that you're both damaged. And you're both about to bleed on each other. And when the relationship ends, he walks away, crying, broken, and frustrated. She walks away, crying, broken, frustrated. They're both mad as hell. Because they don't understand why this didn't work. They don't understand why this didn't last. Because sometimes your best isn't good enough. And a lot of times we don't even think it's us. We think it's the other person. And so we'll jump into another relationship thinking that they were the problem. It was all their issues. Not even understanding that we had our own set of issues. Not even understanding we had our own trauma that we never healed from. And it was just as much my fault as it was their fault. Because sometimes your best isn't good enough. And even though you've done everything to provide a safe environment for your kids, where nobody's going to violate your kids because you grew up in a household where you were violated. So you damn sure ain't nobody fucking over your kids. Ain't nobody touching your kids. Ain't nobody talking down to your kids like our parents talk down to us. Ain't nobody beating your kids like our parents beat the shit out of us. We're not going to be broke like our parents was broke. We're not going to, our kids aren't going to have to go without like we had to go without. And so we got all the right intentions of providing a better household for our kids. We have all the right and authentic, genuine intention of providing a safer place for our kids, a more loving and more nurturing environment for our kids, not even understanding that our best isn't good enough. Because even with our best intentions, they're going to have issues. Even with our best intentions, we're going to bleed out on our kids. Even with our best intentions, we go into survival mode, and that affects our kids. Our kids learn toxic behaviors, coping mechanisms from watching us. And they grow up with their own set of issues. And parents, for the most part, can't understand why their kids are so mad at them when they grow up. Why their kids are so pissed and frustrated with them when they grow up. And the kids come back and they're talking about all these issues that they have. And the parents are like, what the fuck are you talking about? How the fuck do you got issues? I'm the one that's supposed to have issues. I'm the one that went through with the whoop. I'm the one that didn't have a fucking father. I'm the one that didn't have a fucking mother. I'm the one that got my ass beat all the fucking time. I'm the one that got constantly cussed the fuck up. I'm the one that was always told I wasn't shit and wasn't gonna amount to shit and da-da-da-da. I'm the one that was always beat down. I'm the one that was the black sheep of the family. I'm the one that was abandoned and rejected and da-da-da. How the fuck you got issues? When your life was so much easier than mine. When you didn't have to go through none of the pain and the trauma and the bullshit that I went through. How the fuck do you got issues? And parents don't understand the pain, the trauma, that their brokenness, that their unhealed trauma bled out on their kids. And so there's a dynamic taking place where parents and kids are at war with each other. Because the parents won't apologize for doing the best that they could and by spoiling them, doing greater for their kids than what they had. And so the parents look at their kids as, you ungrateful sons of bitches. I don't sacrifice my fucking youth for you. I don't gave up my best life for you. I don't spend all this fucking money for you. I don't have 2 jobs and 3 jobs. And you ungrateful son of bitches. And the parents are mad as fuck because their kids come across as ungrateful and entitled, and the kids are frustrated and mad because the parents don't understand how they're so fucked up because of the lifestyle that they grew up under. Because in the parents' mind, they did their fucking best. And they did their fucking best financially. But emotionally, they were still damaged. Spiritually, they were still damaged. And it bled out on the kids. The real shit. And we don't talk about this enough within the poor communities. And now the young are growing up and they're like, fuck this, I need help. You know what I mean? After they start getting of age, they start getting counseling. They start seeking counseling to understand what the fuck is going on. Why am I this way? But for so many of us who were born in the 70s, who were born in the 60s, who were even born in the 80s, counseling wasn't a thing for us. We didn't grow up with the internet. We grew with, man, suck that shit up and, you know what I mean? Handle your shit. You go out there and make your fucking money and you take care of your fucking kids. We thought that taking care of your kids was just providing financially for them. We thought that if we spoiled them and gave them all the things we wish we had, they would have a happier life. We thought we was giving them the best life possible. And not even understanding that our pain, our trauma, bled out on them. It affected them. It damaged them emotionally and spiritually. We hook up with other adults, and our past, our brokenness, bled out on them. It hurt them. It crushed them. Even though that wasn't our intention. All we wanted to do was love them. But our best wasn't good enough. We caused pain. We've caused suffering. We've created trauma. And we have to be mature enough, emotionally and spiritually mature enough to understand that. We have to learn how to forgive ourselves because our best wasn't good enough. We have to learn how to release that. We have to be humble enough to be able to apologize to our kids and to the other adults that we bled out on, that we've hurt, that we've created trauma for. Because of my issues, you got a broken heart. Because of my issues, you were abandoned. Because of my issues, you were neglected. Because of my issues, you were abused. Because of my issues, you were betrayed. We've hurt people. We've loved. Man, it is what it is. We have to grow up emotionally. We have to grow up spiritually. We have to start being able to sit down and look at our life in authentic and genuine eyes of God, the universe, the Most High. And be able to see we've hurt others. That may not have been our intent, but that was the results of our brokenness. That was the results of our damage. It is what it is. I love you guys. Thank you for rocking out with me. Happy healing, family. Peace.